Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We'll talk Braves and NFL football, and we're going to do a recap of the draft. And I know I said I was going to have my brother-in-law and his cousin on, Eric and Aaron Hoyle, but that did not work out. They were not able to do it, so I'll just do the recap so you'll get it from me. And we'll talk Cavs and NBA playoffs, and we will talk traveling Major League Baseball. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who was the first head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? I will have the answer later on the broadcast. Well, now that the 2019 NFL Draft is in the books, it's time for a recap of this year's draft, and I felt the Browns had a really good draft this year. And the Browns really made some really great picks in the draft. Actually, I'm going to go back and I'll tell you who they were. And as you know, the Browns did not have a pick in the first round. But they did not start picking until number 49 of the second round. The Browns did not start to pick until the second round. And with their first pick, number 49, they got, number 46. They traded up for that one. They got Greedy Williams, quarterback from LSU. They got him first. So that was one of the picks. With the 50... No, that was the only pick. That they did not get another pick after that. I don't think. I'm trying to see here. Excuse me. They got Greedy Williams in that second round, as I just said. But they did not have another pick after. But they did not have another pick after that. And in round 3, with the 80th pick, they got Simone Tahaki, a linebacker from BYU, and that really, I think, did it for their second round. That was the third round. Excuse me, that did it for their third round. Then in the fourth, with pick 119, they got Sheldrick Redwine, safety from Miami, and then with pick number, which was in the 5th round, I believe, with 155, they got linebacker Mack Wilson from Alabama, and that was a good one. And I think that they're really going to get something out of that. Mack's going to be a really contributor to this team. With 168, they got Austin Corbett, or Selbert, excuse me, from a kicker from Alabama. And then with 186, they got Drew Forbes, and not many fans knew much about him, Drew Forbes. And I think he's going to be a really good contributor for the team because they're going to be vying for these positions. And with we also had the 221st pick, we got Donnie Lewis. Those were the 5 picks the Browns got, and we all knew that Arizona was going to take Kyler Murray, and I thought they made some good picks too. And Minnesota and the Giants, they really traded up a lot. But and I think we all knew that the 49ers were going to take defensive end Nick Bosa, and he went second right after Kyler Murray. And there were just so many that teams were looking at, and it was a very entertaining draft, a very fun draft to see, and I just said this was a well-rounded draft to say the least, and I wanted to just say that by far. But that's just the recap I wanted to give you. And now the Cleveland Browns, they have suddenly have all the. Wait a minute. Now the Cleveland Browns certainly have a very competitive roster, which means it will be hard for the players to win jobs in 2019, especially for the 5 players that were drafted, as I just mentioned. In years past, the Browns have been scouring over their roster, trying to find players capable of starting at every position. They haven't always had the best candidates, and oftentimes there were players who shouldn't be starting winning jobs pretty much by default. Now, when General Manager John Dorsey came on board in December of 2017, that started to change. He understood the problem this team had with the talent and proclaimed he was there to get real players that wasn't just lip service, as he completely overhauled the roster since his arrival. There's been so much turnover that Christian Kirksey and Joe Benantonio are now the most tenured players on the team, and they have only been with Cleveland since the 2014 NFL Draft. Now, while that may seem shocking, the turnover had to be done. Year after year, the Browns were finishing in the AFC North cellar, and Dorsey knew the only way to fix this was to tear this team down to the studs, which is sadly something Browns fans are all too familiar with, and that includes me. And unlike others who blew it up in the land, Dorsey is making good on his promise to deliver a remodel that everyone will like. He's landed a franchise quarterback and cornerstone defenders and some electric wideouts. With all these moves being made the Browns are now in uncharted waters. They suddenly have enough talent that certain jobs could be in jeopardy due to a surplus of talent. Here we will look at some top 5 players who could be playing for their jobs, whether their role is as a starter or on the team in general. Now, I think the 5 players that were drafted, which is Greedy Williams, Donnie Lewis, Drew Forbes, and Simone Tahaki, and I forgot the other one's name, but all 5 of them are really going to be. And Mac Wilson. They're going to be the ones that have a hard time getting the job on that team, because they're going to be fighting for starting positions, and they did it. 30 players attended the Browns minicamp tryouts, and that is going on now through on Sunday. Well, it's going to be hard for them to get jobs for the team. We'll talk Cavs and NBA playoffs and Tribe in just a moment, but it's now time for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who was the first head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? And if you said Tom Landry, you are correct. Tom Landry was the only head coach the Cowboys knew in their first 29 seasons. He invented the now popular 4-3 defense and the flex defense system made famous by his doomsday defense squads during his tenure. Dallas won 2 Super Bowls during his tenure. Dallas won 2 Super Bowls and reached 3 more while posting a winning record for 20 straight seasons. And that was their first and only head coach until we all know that Jimmy Johnson came in and took over after Tom Landry stepped down. And I'll have another trivia question on my next broadcast, so stay tuned for that. Now, turning to the Cavs, the thing that's on all Cavs fans' minds is how long is it going to take for the Cavs to get a new head coach? And the Cavs head coaching search continues, and it's been going on for quite a while. And they have asked and been granted permission to interview Denver Nuggets assistant Jordi Fernandez for the head coaching position. But they're being respectful, even because of the Western Conference semifinals right now, which they are playing in. And they eliminated San Antonio in the first round. Now, Fernandez has been one of the most watch assistants that the Cavs have been interested in, and he's going to be interviewing for the head coaching position in Cleveland, in Cleveland, I think soon, and I just feel that it's going to take. I feel it's going to be a month and a half before the Cavs have a new head coach, because they've interviewed so many candidates already, and there has not been a favorite. There hasn't been a front runner for this, and I just feel it's going to take a month and a half for the Cavs to find a new head coach. Utah Jazz assistant Alex Jensen, whose team was eliminated by Houston in round 1, will interview in Cleveland on Friday for the Cavs coaching position. The Tribe and the Mariners are tied at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 7th. Shane Bieber's on the mound for the Tribe tonight with a record of 2-2, and we'll see if the Tribe get back in the winning track. Corey Kluber is going to be out with a sore right forearm for at least 2 months, and that's where we probably will get him back. He's going to have to go through rehab, and as you know, Mike Clevenger is out for 6 to 8 weeks, so we've lost 2 of our 4 starters, and hopefully, as Francona said, we're going to do everything to not make everybody feel sorry for us, but really keep things going and really be at number 1, because they know what they have to do. So we'll see if they can get the win tonight against the Mariners. And now I feel that getting back to the Browns, and these are my final thoughts here. And I feel they had a great draft, and these are the drafts in our tank, as I've said. And these 5 players that the Browns drafted, plus the moves we made and got during the offseason, they're going to be fighting for starting positions. But we know Odell Beckham's going to be starting. We know that. And so we'll have to see what happens with this minicamp. And we're not too far away from training camp, which gets underway in July. So we shall see what happens. So I think it's really going to be a great season of Browns football. They're really going to do well this year. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. I'll be back with another podcast, which will be probably on Sunday. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.